Okay, well, so we are now broadcasting via Zoom in a new format that you haven't seen before called VidProv. VidProv is the brainchild of a man named Jonathan Bryden, an improviser and software designer in New Zealand. And if you like what VidProv can do, and hopefully we'll show you a few of the differences between VidProv and Zoom as you watch the show, you'll get a feeling for it. Obviously, there are still technical difficulties, like I'm hearing an echo, but that's just me. Anyway, we're here with my Space Cadets, they're called, who took 4 workshops with me in Viola Spolin's use of space objects and the idea of space. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play a couple of theater games to get going and warm up before we introduce you to the Spolin Players. First of all, again, my name is Gary Schwartz. You can see my name on the thing. I'm leaving the names up for right now just so that everybody can identify everybody. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the Space Cadets are going to do a warm-up game that we love to play called In the Manner of the Adverb. Now, in the manner of the adverb works very much like, well, one person is going to go out of the room, and then we are going to think of an adverb, or we'll actually even ask for an audience suggestion for an adverb. An adverb is an ly word. It modifies a verb like sneakily or sleepily. And then we will all know what that adverb is, but the person out of the room won't. We'll call them back in the room, and they will ask us to handle objects or do some activity in the manner of that adverb until they figure it out. So that's how the game works. And if Judy is still having a sound problem, she will have to use the chat feature and type her guesses. So who would like to go out of the room? Judy's going to go out of the room and do the guessing. Okay, so I am going to send Judy out of the room here, and that is in a breakout. And where's Judy here? There's Judy. So Judy's gone. Okay. So can I get a suggestion you can use if you're in the audience watching? Type up some adverbs, and Miki or Scott, our Zoomifiers, will tell us what adverb they use to do. What's an adverb?
Sleepy, sleepily.
Creepily. Creepily. Okay, so now we're going to bring Judy back, and she's going to ask us to do something until she can guess what the adverb is. Here we go. Hi, Judy. You can't hear us, so you're going to have to type in the chat box what you would like us to do one at a time. Yes. Susan, please dance in the manner of the adverb. Crazily, no. Who's M?
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Michelle, since you're singing, you can use your voice if you have audio.
You can't hear me, okay.
We can.
Okay. Oh, you can hear me? Okay. Come closer, darling. You know you want to be close to me. Oh, yes, you do.
Angrily, no.
Oh.
Shovel in the manner of the adverb. Jim.
Doing good. Young thing like you, out here all by yourself. Come on home with me. Italy. No. Very big escape. Did she get it?
There she got it.
Yes!
What's it, creep?
Bunch of creeps. Okay. That is called in the manner of the adverb. We could do another round of it. We have about, about 7 minutes left for our bits. So I tell you what, why don't we move to the next game that we're going to do, which is called facial features. It's a Who Am I game using facial features. It's a Who game, a character game with using facial features. So let's have two players on screen. Who are the first two that want to do this? Okay, Jim and Susan. And then Michelle, we'll do it, if we have time for another round, we'll do it with either you and Judy or you and me. Okay, all right, so the way this game works is I need a suggestion for an emotion for Susan's eyes and eyebrows. Somebody suggest an emotion for her eyes. Anybody?
Let's see. How about hate?
Hateful eyebrows.
That I can do.
Okay, and we need a different emotion for her nostrils and upper lip.
Sexily.
Sexy nostril and upper lip. Hateful. And now we need a third emotion for her lower lip and jaw.
Hungry.
Hungry. Okay. Before we go any further, let's get a relationship for these two players before we go any further. How do they know one another and what are they going to talk about?
One sec. They are doctor-patient.
Doctor and patient. Okay. So Judy is going to have to hold those three emotions in her face and to relate to the other player. Jim, now we need a different emotion for Jim's eyebrows.
How about caring?
Caring eyebrows, caring eyes and caring eyebrows. And another emotion for his nose.
Devious.
Devious nose. And a third emotion for his lips, lower lip.
Lusty.
Lusty lower lip. Caring, devious, and lusty. Okay. And so now it's a doctor-patient scene.
All right, just take off your top. Damn over and over.
Well, do you have the paper thing I guess we'll put on?
Yeah, they did. You're right.
Turn your head.
Hey, look, I've been doing this for 4 decades. I haven't seen anything that surprised or shocked me yet. And every night you haven't surprised or shocked me either. Oh, don't worry about it. Never know.
Listen here, young man, I have children younger than you, so just be polite.
And here's because I was looking for another wife. Like, one of them single?
I'm single.
It's all enough to be my mom. You said it was going to be nothing to do. Right now.
Sometimes like that, you know.
Right? This is going to go cold. Here we go.
Alright. Oh. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I can't hear you hard at all.
Really?
I just hear a lot of swearing and grooming.
Well,
Try another. Nothing to it.
okay, yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Caring eyes, lustful lip. Caring eyes, lustful lip.
You know, for a long lady, you got pretty soft skin. Go ahead, breathe. Are you breathing?
No, how can I breathe with your hand on my chest like that? I'm very excited right now.
Hey, look, at our age, don't scare a person like that. You gotta keep breathing. Gotta take something, huh? You hand me those pills. You hand me those pills. I gotta take some. My angina. Oh, yeah.
Here you go. Kind of weird when the patient hands the doctor the pills.
Think about it. Think of another human being. You take the top off it.
I have to do everything.
Just take the top off.
Okay. Ow.
Even your hands are soft. Wow.
Thank you.
Hiding it 1 minute.
Gary,
Yes.
can you put their video up or their audio up?
I have a bottle of water, but I sipped from it.
All right. I'll take it. Give me that. Give me that.
Okay. All right. So everybody, that was a way to do create a character instantly, and it's a lot of fun. It certainly is a workout for your face, isn't it? Look at Susan; she's just all frozen right there. Well, anyway, that was and your use of space and your use of objects was nice. I could actually see that bottle. Okay.
So
Miki,
Gary,
yes.
we're having the audience say they can't hear them. So they can hear you fine, but they can't hear Susan and Jim. They still enjoyed the facial stuff, but there wasn't a lot of.
There wasn't a lot of sound.
Yeah.
So can we just have you up your volume just a little bit and see if the echo goes away?
Okay, how's that?
That's good.
Okay.
Jim? Testing? Audience, can you hear Jim?
No, they're both real quiet still.
Both real quiet.
Well, I
I'm
told
gonna have to up
Susan.
my master volume maybe. Jim, how about that?
I'm feeling louder now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There is an echo though, at least that I hear. Judy, Michelle?
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh, no echo. Okay, no echo on your end. And then for Judy, unfortunately, you were the mime of the group. Well, anyway, this is the warm up to #1 Spolin games with the Spolin Players, and also your introduction to Improv. And I want to thank the players in the Space Cadets because working with them was a pleasure, a lot of fun. I think we had 4 wonderful classes, and I hope I communicated a little bit of Viola's uh, philosophy and joy of this work. It has to be fun in order for it to work. So thank you all. Why don't you go into the Zoom meeting now and watch the next section, and hopefully we'll have no more technical difficulties.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now I got to see if the Spolin players are all there. Would somebody text the Spolin players who are not present and have them come on? So, oh, there's David McCharen, ladies and gentlemen. So let me start introducing the Spolin players. We started performing in the 1980s after Filton Company left for Broadway, and we were the replacement group that held the fort down in Hollywood. And so we've been playing ever since, and now we're playing online. So what I'd like to do is introduce the first person to my right, which is Danny Mann.
I gotta say, ingenious, incandescent, and his preference are words that Eddie Allen really knows well. I'm gonna bring him on now.
There's Eddie Allen.
Wow, that's it. I don't know where I am. Oh, Gail. Gail.
Okay, Gary, there,
Yes.
we hear you fine, but everyone else is incredibly muted. They're not off.
Incredibly low, so I'm going to just up my volume a little bit here.
Nope.
Fortunately, that's the problem, guys.
Gary?
Volumes on your mics, please, on your systems to see if that works. If I up my volume, I'm getting more.
No. Hey, Gary? This is Scott.
Yeah.
Can you invite me to view the VidProv room? Maybe we can try it that way.
Please, let's go.
Yeah, you know what it is. I have a solution.
Go, Gary.
Wow, it's loud. Hey, no attention to that. How do you up your own mic? Well, it's a good speaker, but I don't get the mic. Yeah, me neither. With your, is your an older Mac or a newer Mac? It's,
Okay, how is this, everybody?
We hear you.
Now, can everybody hear us?
Nope, we're not hearing the panelists at all.
Gary, can you invite me into the VidProv to view the VidProv session in VidProv? Maybe that way
yes.
I can have a little bit more control of the audio on that end.
Yeah, just all you have to do is join vidprov.com/Spolin Players.
Okay, give me just a moment.
How about now? Can everybody hear everybody?
No, we can only hear you.
Sorry.
What I did is I turned. Up 24.
Okay, Gary, I am in the room. Let's see here.
Miki, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Gary.
I hear only Gary.
Here's only me. Oh, how about now? I just unmuted myself.
I hear
1,
you,
2,
but We hear
Let's
you.
listen to the Spolin Players. Danny Man?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let's listen to the Spolin Players. Danny Man?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nope.
No. No sound coming?
It's just the tiniest little bit. Do you want to convert to Zoom?
Would we? I think we might have to go to Zoom.
Well, let's try something. Let's try something here real quick.
You want to refresh?
Yeah. Okay, I refreshed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Last up.
1, 2. You know, Gary, is it possible that because it's you're sharing your screen on Zoom, that by putting your headset on, you're not being able to share the sound?
Okay, I'm sharing the sound now directly into Zoom. How does that sound, everybody?
Hey, sounds good to me.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
you're loud and clear.
Can you hear us?
I can hear everyone, and I'm hoping you all hear me.
Can you hear us okay, Scott?
I can hear you great. I'm wondering if anybody but me can hear you.
I can
As long as
hear.
you can hear us.
They're all saying
that's all we're really
great.
care about.
They're all
Great.
saying great.
Okay.
Okay.
We're off to the races.
We're all here.
No, we're not. Johnny's not here.
Johnny's not here.
No, we got to keep going. Yeah, it goes.
Okay.
Okay. Show must go on.
Show must go on.
He'll come.
I'm hearing that noise. I'm hearing an echo.
Everybody's
coming
So
from
got its wings.
You know what? I am going to have to leave the Zoom meeting
If you can't stop echoing, Gary, you're just going to have to step outside.
Now, how about that? Miki, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. You're echoing.
And now I'm not echoing. This.
Quite
So when you're
honestly,
echoing to you, Gary, you're not echoing to Mickey?
right.
Yeah, I just left the Zoom meeting, and I'm not echoing. But they can see us on and hear us.
You're really echoing. Let me go. I'll go see Zoom. See if
It actually sounds cool.
You need to stop.
Yeah, that's a horrible sound.
Can you hear me, Major Tom?
Time is here to save.
All right, I'm going to have to rejoin the Zoom meeting, and Scott, I think you're going to have to let me share the screen from my end. So how do I do that? Here we go.
Here, Gary, I just muted you on Zoom, and it seems like it's better.
If everybody talks right now, it's good right now.
Hack on this, hey. Too close to the camera there, dude.
It's what I do.
We're so bad.
Why, Tinkerbell, what are you doing here?
Oh, wait, yes. Pat, you have it.
Incoming!
Shit.
I'm ready.
That's the sound of the pencil being sharpened.
This is a bunch of men working at a lumber camp.
Oh my God. I think we're not in the Zoom meeting anymore.
Let me go to Zoom. You mean tech?
I see you all fine.
ready?
Pat?
I just got your text.
Or
Number nine. Number nine. Number nine.
More jokes. I need more jokes.
Well, you'll get 'em.
Please, more jokes. Can we have more jokes?
How about now?
More pencils now. Jokes later.
No, I gotta have more jokes. More jokes.
You
More
are on
jokes
the
than
Zoom.
11.
Can you all hear us?
Yes.
No, I'm asking the audience.
It's fine. If I can hear, they can.
Ah, we're good. Here we go, everybody. Sorry about all of that. Oh my goodness. So have you been doing transformation of objects while we've been fiddling around? So we're going to start with a quick warm-up of space object, and we're going to discover an object by handling space. Once we have an object in our hands that we know what it is, we're going to pass it around. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So, So that's a.
What do you do with my bird?
Oh my goodness, was that better?
It was cool.
We've
Like
got
the 60s.
And they only did a
What I
little.
read.
Sound transformation. I like that.
I know. Okay, well now that we have sound back, this is really strange. So this never did this in the rehearsal. We're gonna show you another aspect of VidProv. There's a stage that we can use, and we're gonna do a game called Jib Relay.
Gibberish.
So now gibberish relay. So I can come on the stage and actually move around, and I'll be joined by two other players.
Oh shoot, I'm not moving. Why can't I move?
There we go. So Pat and I'll go in the middle, and Pat and Johnny come up
Try
here.
0, Danny.
What's that?
Try the letter O, Danny.
All right. Well, so Pat over here speaks gibberish, everybody. I mean,
Gail.
Gail. I'm sorry, Gail. Gail speaks gibberish. Hello, it's so wonderful to be seen by you. And Johnny here doesn't understand it, but he speaks a different kind of gibberish. What the hell is she saying? Now, unfortunately, I know both gibberishes, so I'm going to facilitate a small conversation, and we're going to do this in a relay fashion so that everybody gets a chance to translate versus interpret what is being said. So here we go, quick gibberish relay. Scotty and Judy, you calm down. Those kids.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they were so small in the picture, and now I'm just amazed at how big they are.
Thailand, kissing baga kadi singer, for the quality and costume what that?
You're telling me?
Yeah, Gava, what's up, I got a.
I'm telling you, yeah. And we move on.
Oh, my life and my love is effervescent. I send it to you.
Oh. I brought City Matroshi and I brought the Chiniamdrovosisha, a Caprondava, and I wonderful.
I feel your love. I ingest it. It comes back up in a regurgitating fashion, and I vomit it towards you.
What of this Vicky?
Wait. The vomiting was not part of the relationship.
The next time you eat my pasta, you do not load the cheese on it.
And you put it? Sure, Rick, that's so macabre.
You make pasta for me, I eat it the way I want.
I'm gonna force pizza in sendo, ta brutto ponovo paccatenere zamando ciotto pondo prolefis.
You gotta understand, lady. I've been doing pasta for the last 35 years.
Hodi. Okay, I just running a sorry crossing now.
Woody, I didn't recognize you. You're that prize-winning chef.
Puzzle. Chi sempre settembre va a sorpreso quando rivela mondo rivela per catessi.
That's okay. All you gotta do now is to come back to my dressing room in the next.
Praslov, Mishka Zovash, Kostam Praslavne.
Look at my little hamster. You want to hold him? Here, hold him. He hardly ever bites.
Oh, but I got. Ow! Ow!
Ow, he bit me. He's attacking me. What do I do? Get rid of the hamster.
Oh, the world is falling. So this is your prediction for the future? Well, not the long-term future, but for now. I'm not interested in your gobbledygook. I want to know why we are in this issue. The issue. Because there are not enough potatoes in the world. This is just absurd. You've lost your mind. Yeah, of course.
Boże, les vêtements toirs, de cultoir,
I've been sitting here staring up at her window for hours. Nothing.
Loch malachekich ach malabofash. Ala ich alo ayach.
Sometimes there are worse things going on in your mind than in reality. Just look at the place up above her.
Pourquoi? Et toi, dit toi, ne pas que c'est sur ce film.
I just realized she moved.
Oh, ochum ich alachum ich ayach oyech manech asto barachocha.
Oh yeah, she sent me a notice. I should have told you.
Sois-y fois, ze quant. Hey, goed dat heb ik samen thuis. Heb ik niet genomen te gaan niezen. Hoe zou ze stupide bataido?
How can you forget such an important thing like that? It's like forgetting to breathe or to drink. Don't use that tone of voice with me.
Mais moi, est toi, toi, une d'autre horride.
Oh, my tone? You keep every other word you spit and stuff lands on me.
Pucha, balach, moedig, zich, fufach.
Pucha, you say that to me, Mona. That?
Again?
Hello? Yeah, you're up. Oh, is it me? I'm sorry.
Yes, it's you.
Oh, I wrote this is I wrote throne shades.
Boy, am I having one hell of a time.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a jib relay, and we'll be doing some more jib in the show a little bit later. But right now, we're going to do something called the last letter expert. Last letter expert is a very interesting exercise. We're going to use Johnny and Danny. So why don't you come and join me on stage for a sec? And the way this works is we're going to start with Johnny as a world expert on any subject whatsoever. We're going to get a suggestion from you in the audience. For a suggestion. So what would we'd like to have Johnny lecture to you about? He's going to give you a very interesting lecture. Are we alone, or did I lose the? No, we're still in Mickey's thing.
Growing rocks, somebody said.
Growing rocks.
Growing rocks. So the rock growth industry. And so Dan, the thing about Johnny is his mind is so filled with knowledge that literally every fourth or fifth or sixth word, the word escapes him. What is the proper word to continue with? That's why he is assisted by Danny, who will supply him the next logical word in his lecture. Unfortunately, Johnny must take the last letter of that word and make that the first letter of the next word to continue. Other than that, they're perfectly fine. And we're going to do this in a feature in VidProv called Cutouts. So I'm going to leave the stage here, and everybody else leave the stage and just leave Johnny and Danny on alone. And I will switch over to the cutouts. So now fill those faces, please. And we have a lecture on rock growth.
You know, when I was a kid in the 70s, I know I'm placing my age, they used to have these things called pet rocks, you know? So I got this great idea, since it was a big fad and everyone was going crazy, nuts over it, other day, I says to myself, look, why can't I grow my own rock, right? So here's what I did. I have a neighbor, Nellie. She makes the worst bundt cake. So I figured if I went over and got one of her bundt cakes, someone
Closer, Johnny.
other than myself would make this cake. I figured it'd be Nellie because she makes really bad bundt cakes. You know, you set it out on the counter for about a day, it turns to granite. So here I said to myself, I'll take this cake. Everyone, especially the one that she made for Yom Kippur. So I'll take this cake and I'll bury it in the backyard. I figure in a day or two, it's got to get really hard. Which reminds me, I should give a piece to my husband. David. You know, David has this problem. It's a skin condition, but I don't want to talk about it on the air. Anyway, so I take this cake and I put it back in the backyard for about a week and a half. I figure, you know, that's got to be enough time for it to harden. And I figure I get myself a whole bunch of nice rocks. I'm sorry, what? So, why do you have to end everything with an O?
I tell you what, why don't we do a quick switcheroo and just have Danny be the expert now, and I'm going to give you a new visual.
Good, and I can end everything with an O.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
We need another subject. Another subject for Danny as an expert.
Kind of hard to see those two, but that's...
Oh, is that too hard? I can give you a different one.
No, it's good. Just as long as they're close. It looks great.
Okay, there we go.
Good.
He's an expert in what subject?
Saltwater taffy.
Saltwater taffy.
Whenever I visit an ocean area, I like to partake in
whitewater rafting.
Go to any ocean port and you will find a small stand selling
saltwater taffy.
You know, not everyone likes saltwater taffy, especially people with bad
dentures.
Several people in the dentist office with me recently claimed that they had hurt their teeth by
chewing on large pieces of lumber.
Regular cleaning can certainly overcome the problems of saltwater taffy consumption in terms of dental
hygiene and other forms of cleanliness.
So you see, the taste of the toffee is really secondary to the
actual substance in one's mouth.
Hurry, I say, hurry to your nearest beach town and buy some saltwater taffy, especially from a guy named Ted.
There we go. Okay. And there their faces back. Okay. Yep. Well, that was a fun. That's a lovely feature in Bitprov. They have a lot of very funny cutouts, and you can do dubbing inside them. It's a lot of fun. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get Gail and Eddie up here to do a scene. There's Gail and Eddie. Now this is actually not a Viola Spolin game, but it's a game that was showed to me by Jonathan Bryden, and Jonathan is the creator of Vidprov, and
Hello. Hello, Gary here.
He's calling right now to say, did I give you permission to use this game? But yes. No, so anyway, Jonathan showed me this game, and it actually tracks very much like a Viola game in the fact that a where and a relationship emerges from it. So in that sense, it's a Spolin-esque game, and I thought we'd show it today. And I'd like to give credit to Jonathan Bryden for this game. The game is called It Feels Like. And the way it works is these two players are going to just let a scene emerge by starting with an it feels like statement. And whatever they feel is going to be responded to in all honesty by the other person with another it feels like statement. And they'll go back and forth just expressing what it feels like to them that's going on until a relationship and a where emerges and a scene will take place. So at some point they will divert from it feels like into the scene. Here we go.
Refresh, Gary.
Hit refresh. Thank you.
It feels like you're trying to communicate something to me.
It feels like I'm hesitant.
Well, it feels like you've been that way for quite a while.
Feels like an attack.
It feels like you're getting angry.
feels like I'm embarrassed.
Oh, well, it feels like it feels like there's this cloud of empathy that's overtaking us.
It feels warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, it does feel warm and fuzzy. I never thought being a stuffed animal would be so much fun.
So crowded on this bed, but she said she was going to give some of us away.
Yeah, they gave the zebra away last week.
Zoe?
Zoe the zebra, yeah. I heard him screaming.
But I haven't seen Petey the peacock. Is he gone too?
Petey? No, Petey! Petey was the first!
Petey's always been next to me.
Well, under the pillow. Look, lift up the pillow.
You're right.
Petey!
They didn't take him.
Ooh. You know, she promised that she was going to sew my ear back on, but she never did. But look at you, she fixed you all up.
I can help.
You can?
Come a little closer.
All right. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Can you hurry up? Oh. Hey, you did it.
Hear me now. Can you hear me now?
She'll never get rid of us.
Yes.
There we are.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a lovely way to kind of find your way into a scene. It gives you enough time, and we see a scene develop. We've had a lot of fun with that, and I want to thank Jonathan Bryden for the inspiration for that game. It's called It Feels Like. Now we're going to go return to the stage setting with Danny and Pat. And we're going to get a relationship for Danny and Pat. So can I get a relationship about who they might be and how they might know one another?
Cousins. Somebody said cousins.
Did somebody say cousins?
Yeah, there was somebody wrote something that said cousins on here.
Okay, you can see the.
I just see somebody named William wrote cousins.
Identical cousins.
Okay, great. Cousins. And where could cousins be? Where could they be and what could they be doing?
Rectangle, Danny?
Yep, switching now.
Yeah, going to a rectangle. For some reason, I'm not seeing the. Are we still in Zoom? Yeah, we are.
Yes, we murdered the grandfather in Georgia.
What about visiting something about the grandfather in Georgia?
Who murdered?
Oh, there's two cousins who have murdered. So they've murdered their grandfather in Georgia.
Okay.
Okay. And so this game is called Gibberish English. And the way it works is because of the time lag, I won't side coach verbally. I will side coach by holding up a sign. Oh, wait.
Glarvin.
I will hold up a sign that says English.
There we go.
Okay.
Or gibberish. And as they dialogue in the scene, they will switch between gibberish and English, carrying the scene forward.
Do we have a where, or should we create our own?
Would you like a where? Where could this take place, this post-murder two cousins?
In the car getting away.
In the getaway car.
They're driving teachers. No. I think we're being followed, I do.
Why?
Somebody must have heard or seen something.
Why do you say that? You're always so paranoid. I planned it out to the last minute. It was perfect.
Pero solo te llevar la carta.
Start flushing. You can't possibly think anything could go wrong at this time.
I don't know. We must have made some kind of a bosto. Jimmy de Casolodi, Bravo Gosovodi, this is a knife.
Not unless you drop something. I picked up after myself like I always do, but you've always been kind of a mess. Damn traffic.
I know. Maybe we shouldn't have done this in rush hour because of Salvador de Brista Kibiteva.
You keep going back to the thing that we're being followed, but I'm Brokovachniki Polanto. It's Gobalaka.
Profe, how about teacher Lavogodo? Who is that? Did you hear that?
I heard it, but we are in solid traffic, and I am Brokovachniki Slado. Ibrago Duhanendi.
Oh, burgers. You want to stop off and get a burger?
All right. Should we go through the drive-thru?
Yeah, drive-thru's fine.
Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, I'd like a pastrami sandwich on rye, light on the cheese.
We don't got no rye bread. We just got buns and white bread.
Dobro se chigaba. Curly fries.
All right, there's one curly fries.
And Bravo Slaken Tika Pasto.
We got some Tolobo if you want it.
And no ketchup because it looks a lot like Brogo.
And blackout.
Blackout.
Looks a lot like Brogo.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
It looks a lot like Brogo.
Boy, those bugs are big, aren't they? Besides that, that's the murder hornet.
Are we hearing that?
Yes.
Yes, we're hearing it.
We're hearing that. Somebody mowing their lawn? Whoever it is, hit the audio. My goodness. Great. Well, let's see here. We're moving along.
Snail's piss.
Yeah, we've got more to go here.
Damn noisy snails.
Yeah, huge snails.
All right, well, we're going to do what is going on?
Well, it is rush hour.
I see. We're going to do a game right now called Finding Objects in the Immediate Environment. David and I are going to find ourselves in a small space and involved in a relationship of some kind. And we're going to, while we're involved in why ever we are there, the focus is going to be on finding as many objects that reveal themselves in the space as possible. So let's start with who we could be and where could we be doing this, in what kind of a small area. Who are we and where are we? And let's go from there. What are we doing there? Do I see anybody saying anything in the Zoom?
The phone lines are open.
I don't care who we are or where we are.
I see airline bathroom.
Freedom fighters.
What's that?
Airline bathroom just popped up.
An airline
bathroom.
An airline bathroom. Okay. And who are we?
Freedom fighters.
We're freedom fighters in an airline on the airplane, or in the
on the airline bathroom on the plane.
On the plane.
That's where you find an airline bathroom, generally speaking.
Okay. So
he doesn't.
My neighbor did put one out on his front porch for people to take if they wanted.
Okay. Oh God.
Billy, let me in. All right. We're gonna have to do this soon. I think they're getting on to us.
Yeah. All right. Come on in. Close the door behind you.
I'm trying to. Okay, it's closed. Oh, geez, I don't know how to open it now.
Don't worry about it.
Here, hand me a tissue. No, don't touch it. Oh, well.
It's so soggy there.
Oh.
They never wipe up after they sink.
Okay, look.
All right.
Move your foot. I'm going to put it in the toilet.
All right.
All right, flush it down.
Okay.
I dropped my gun down there.
Damn it. Look, we don't need it. I'll tell you what. We're going to do this peacefully.
All right.
No more violence. Our PR has been terrible.
Put on your mask. I got a Nixon mask.
Why'd you bring a Nixon mask? That's so 70s.
Because it looks like I'm not a crook.
Oh, it looks like you're not a crook.
Yeah.
So it's Nixon.
Darth Vader. Come on. Jeez Louise. That's going to be something. They're going to look at you as soon as you walk out the door.
Oh, and they're not going to look at you.
Well, I mean, I could at least look like I.
Look. Forget the masks.
Okay.
All we do is just walk out casually, like what?
Are you going to read the manifesto?
Oh yeah. Hang on. Let me see.
Take it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Why'd you write it so small?
Well, there's a lot on there, and I didn't want to make it I didn't want to make it like a 2-page or 3-page thing. That's always distracting when you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Socialists of America.
Yeah.
Dear Socialists of America?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Right.
Oh.
Hang on.
Now they're going to see all the scratches. You know, I got to...
You're going to read it. I'm going to hold it close.
I got an eraser. Here, take the eraser.
I got it.
Well, okay, well, erase it. Don't just scratch it over.
Dear Socialist Pigs of America.
And blackout.
You don't want to offend them right off the bat. What's wrong with you? Hi, dear Socialist Pigs of America.
Yeah. Regarding your last letter.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
In response to Socialist Pigs of America.
One of the things we like to do is something we call giving and taking, which sometimes we don't do very well, but we try. We're going to do a give and take exercise with sound effects and action that we call the soundscape. So we're going to have Johnny Mariano come on, and David and Danny are going to go off stage but be our sound effects providers.
Okay.
And the way this works is John is going to be in some environment where he has to perform some kind of action or activity. So can we get a suggestion for an activity and a place where he might be performing this activity. Anybody? Or they're all coming in. All of the things are probably coming in on the scroll. What's going on?
Bullfighting.
Sword fighting?
Bullfighting.
A bullfighter. He is a bullfighter. So now he is a solo. So he is let's have the bullfighter prepares. And you, Johnny, why don't you create the where you are preparing to fight El Toro?
That's very Hemingway.
Oh my God.
Death of a bullfighter.
Bull's revenge.
Oh my goodness! All right. Well, that was
the bull's revenge. Mm-hmm.
Okay. After that exsanguination.
Nice. 10-point word.
We're going to do
my sanguination. Now it's my exsanguination.
Right. We're going to do a game called Dubbing, which is another giving and taking game where we have Gail and Eddie as the bodies, and we have Pat and Danny as the voices. So let's have Gail and Eddie come on stage, and what we want to do is get a relationship for Gail and Eddie. Who are they and where could they be and what could they be doing? It's the three things Viola always asks for a scene. Who, what, and where. Who are they, where are they, and what are they doing?
How much does it pay?
Any suggestions? Normally we'd be like trying to the cacophony would be amazing in a live audience.
Cacophony!
Surgeons.
Surgeons.
I say surgeons, yeah.
Okay.
Surgeons?
And they're surgeons. Do we have a where other than the operating room or at the operating room?
A lemon farm.
A lemon farm.
A lemon farm.
A lemon farm.
They're plant surgeons.
Okay. Well,
Surgeons.
maybe not.
Surgeons on a lemon farm. Now, in order to make this a little more interesting, we're going to ask for a film genre, a genre of film, a style of film that this could take place in or could be dubbed in.
Noir.
Did she say
noir?
A noir film. So for this, I would put go black and white for you guys in film noir. So that's another thing that we can do in VidProv is change the rules. And while we're at it, Danny is going to be voicing Eddie Allen. And so Eddie is going to sound like this.
Yeah, I'm a doctor. What about it? Yeah.
And Gail is going to be voiced by Pat Musick and sound like this.
I just put in a new Meyer lemon tree, and it's very attractive.
Okay. Film noir of surgeons on a lemon tree farm. Very pretty.
La da 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 da. La 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 lemon tree. La na 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 na.
Every time she sings that song, it reminds me of Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah, that's where you took your secretary. Don't think I don't remember.
Oh, she has to remind me of that every time. Right. All right, let's pick some lemons. Come on.
I'm gonna peel one first and see what's on the inside. See if you've been doing your job with the bugs.
Yeah, it's probably going to be tart like you.
Yeah, I am tart. I'm tart and I'm fresh.
Yeah, I'll get fresh with you. Come on. Yeah, look at this. Look at it, it's all yellow on the outside. They haven't even put the Sunkist label on it yet. That's how fresh it is. I love fresh lemon.
Oh, yeah? Well, why don't you taste my lemon, okay? Here.
She's asked me to taste her lemon.
Well?
Perfect.
Oh, that was the wrong lemon. That was the lemon. No, that was not the right lemon. That was the lemon for my ex-husband, not for you. Not yet.
Wait, is that the lemon you poisoned?
What do you mean poison? I never tried to poison nobody, never.
I'm starting to see angels, and I'm starting to see light, and birds, and a large bird, and a flying zebra, and oh my God!
Hey, pass that lemon over.
Here, take a hit.
And black guy. Okay. A lot of scenes end in death, which happens.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing at all, no.
Yeah, kind of a metaphor for life.
I know. All right, well, we're going to end the show with something that we traditionally did way back in the 80s and 90s called poetry.
That was the 1980s and 90s.
Yes, in the 1980s and 90s, not the 1880s and 90s. That would take a lot longer. And so what we want to do is get the first line or the title of a poem never before written or spoken before.
Title.
A title of a poem, please.
Yeah, no color.
I kind of like her noir.
Yeah. What? So just anybody can come up with the title of a poem.
I'll see it and I'll say it.
Should be the first line or the title, but the first line is basically.
I should.
According to Viola.
So what did we say?
I don't see anything yet.
Nothing came. Are we going?
Can you refresh?
And are we going? We're going smaller, correct?
Yeah. Page yet?
I see what I see.
Elephants.
Elephant.
Okay.
Elephant. So the way this works, ladies and gentlemen, is I didn't put the background here. We will do culture and in the library. And so these poets are going to give you their version of a poem entitled Elephant.
Elephant. Oh, elephant. I love your large feet and your great big grey trunk. Elephant. Oh, elephant. Bend your knees down so that I may climb upon your rough hide and feel your ears flapping in the breeze, bringing me back to where I long to be in the deserts of India, where I first met him. And as I climb upon your rough and scaly back, and I look upon your little elephantine child, and your elephantine husband, I say to myself, let the heat of the day cleanse me, and let us all become elephants and never forget.
Just a reminder, everybody else mute when the poet's talking, just we're getting feedback and stuff.
Elephant. Elephant. Tusk, tusk, tusk. I run through the fields. I trample the plants. I jump into the water and spray joy all around. Elephants. Tusk, tusk, tusk.
I am the spotted cheetah. I am the jaguar. I am the antelope leaping towards humanity over the glampers and onto the backs of the native people who help me carry my stuff. Look out! Look out! Elephants coming. Donkeys too. Pay attention. November is soon.
Oh, political.
No sound.
Is this dubbing?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary,
Elephant. You got that part, right? Intuitive. Why don't you smile? All the poachers are gone for a while. Elephant, elephant, why so sad? All your days are not that bad. You don't seem colorful, you don't seem gay. I don't know what they have to say, but I think you're sad because you're just so gray.
Yeah.
Elephant? Elephant, is that you? It's true, it's true. We're all stuck in the same zoo. Night after night, day after day, they stand in line waiting to pay, to come inside and watch us do what? Sit around, pick up a nut, stick it in our mouth, wave our trunk? This whole captivity thing is bunk. Elephant, elephant, is it true? Is it really all happening at the zoo?
And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show for today.
Whoa! more. I mean,
well, despite all of the glitches and everything, we used up the entire hour and a half. So we were going to do questions and answers, but Miki, I have a feeling that you are on a tight schedule with.
Actually, you're on a tight schedule because you have class. But if the rest of the Spolin players want to come into the Zoom, you can do a talkback with just them as long as the audience wants.
Spolin players, may I ask if you would like to go to the Zoom room? You have the link, and I would like to come in just for a quick second and say hello to everybody and see who's all there watching this. But I would, then I have a class at 4:30 Eastern time, and I'm going to bug out right at, so yes. So the answer is yes for me. Anybody else going to join us?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. What's the link again?
Yeah, where is?
I sent you
the panelist link.
I sent you the link. It's the panelists link, it's called. And
okay, yeah, I'm just scrolling down to the panelist link here.
There we go. So I'm going to say goodbye in VidProv and see you in Zoom. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
So everybody that's in the audience, if you just want to sit for a second, they'll start to come in, and they can stay as long as you all have a desire to have a talk back. You all have time, and they have time, because this is not going to be used again until our first show this evening. So this lane or channel or whatever will be open. I'm just kind of filling time here. The only way that they're going to be able to communicate with you on this is via the chat. It looks like you all have been putting stuff in the chat, so you would just continue to do that.
Miki, we can also allow them to ask questions over voice if they'd like.
Oh, okay. So Scott, if you want to set that up, that would be fine. That would be awesome. I don't know how to do that. We're just working on Gary's here. So Gary, just come on video. Anybody that's here, just come on video.
Won't allow us to?
Huh?
You can't start your video because the host has stopped it. I don't know if that's because I'm on the wrong link or.
No, you're on the right link. Scott, can you hear this?
I can. Do you want to transfer the host over to me and I'll take a look?
Okay, I will just most happily do that. Just give me 1 sec. I had it set up and then participants, the panelists, Scott, and then I am going to leave this to you all to have a great rest of the afternoon. Thank you, Spolin Players. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Please, you all, we have so many shows going on this week. If you're in the audience this weekend, look at the rest of our schedule. There are some really awesome things going on, including Gary's doing an intensive that he'll have some more Space Cadets, I guess. Whatever, not just space. Okay, great. I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Scott is now the host. Thank you so much for being here, and bye.
Bye. Thank you. Wow. Here we are in Zoom. Whew. Yeah, let's see who all is here. Can I see participants? There's 39 participants.
How do I get there? Let's see.
Undo your video. Undo your stop video, Pat.
Okay, there it is.
There you are.
Am I there? No.
You are.
Yeah, we see you.
Oh, I don't see me.
Any questions before I have to leave and start a class? In the chat message here.
I don't know. I am not seeing me.
From Maureen. Oh, hi, Maureen from Kenosha, Wisconsin. what is your most fun memory of working together in your early years as the Spolin Players? Somebody want to take that?
Oh, what happened?
I just stayed muted.
Oh, did you?
Well, let's see. I've had so many wonderful moments with the Spolin Players. One of my best memories is when we were the Spolin Players. In the group was Dan Castellaneta, Edie McClurg, all of us. And we were at the Heliotrope Theater, which was started by Paul Sills back in the 80s for his group Sills and Company. But I will never forget a scene. I think, Pat, you were in it. With Castellaneta, and I don't know if Eddie was in it, but it was a prison break. And you were all prisoners chained together at the ankle in a 3-tier prison. And I will never forget, you're on a bare stage, and Tina will also vouch for this. We saw you all hobble down 3 flights of metal stairs to escape, all chained together. And it was so vivid and real that the space just was, I see it to this very day.
We were good then, weren't we?
Moments like that.
I remember the first time we it was at Pat's birthday, and Pat had invited all her players, everybody she's played with, and all the games we played. But oddly enough, the one game I remember where you and Randy were playing cards, and someone was breaking into your house or something like that. It was a game, and for some reason, the cards were so real and so present. You both really were used your wear quite lovely. I was gonna say the first time I met Viola Spolin, but I'll talk about that later.
Blind date, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, it was at Heliotrope, and I was really excited. We just had a show, and I was so excited to meet Viola Spolin. And after the show, I said, Miss Spolin, it's so great to meet you finally. And she goes, "Were you on the show?"
Yeah, and I was good.
I remember frosting Dan Castellaneta and I were bakers, and we were frosting a wedding cake. And we started with the bottom layer, and then we brought one of those ladders that are on rollers around, and
I remember this.
we climbed up on top, and the layers just grew. And we never said anything to each other. We just kept adding more flowers and more designs and squirting the icing, and then it kept growing, and it got higher and higher, and we kept crawling up and high, and then finally at the very tippy top, we put the bride and groom on the top, and I said, "Done?" He said, "Yeah," and that was it. It was very fun.
I think ever after that, you always used to say, "Just give me a space kitchen."
That's right. Yeah. Most comfortable there.
Gary sort of answered it in the chat, but we also had a question from Phil. What would Viola think of Zoom improvisation?
Probably say it puts you right in your head. That's what she'd say. We've done our best to try to use our where space objects are kind of our thing. And that was one of the big differences with other improv groups that, at least of the time, a lot of improv groups that kind of from the neck up, faster, funnier, great. If you can do that, that's fabulous. But we like to use space objects and be physical, because it just creates a more interesting where for you to go from. And there's always something, if you can't think of something to say, there's always something to grab within the space, which is really fun.
Yeah, I would say I would say exactly the same. She'd go, put it in your head. But I think she would be proud of the fact that we've all attempted to use our where here. And that's a big challenge with Zoom, for sure. Bringing a sense of place.
I just love that my name is still Pat Musick Whitman here. I asked her, but I guess she just doesn't know how to change the name. Where that came from, I have no idea. So anyway, I'm incognito today.
If she changed it, it would be Pat Musick Watman.
Yeah, you can rename it. That's it.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I see one comment from Ingrid to panelists. It is very good. Time is slow. We have to be very tolerant with internet live. More of a comment than a question, but yeah, there's definitely that delay that is something for an audience and something for us to get used to as well.
What would any discussion of Viola be without my classic comment story from her? Because when I was first starting in this, I kind of came from a jokey background and had taken some groundling stuff, and I sort of accidentally stumbled into, ended up in this workshop and was trying to figure it out, and it was all kind of a little zen for me, and the space idea, and I think it was Donna Dubane and I were in a scene together, in workshop. We were doing something, and at the end of it, she would, you know, give some comments, and she said something about Donna. She didn't say anything about me. I said, Viola, what about me? She says, the space around you is dead. And I said, but besides that, I think I was doing really well, right? And I was able to kind of crack her up because she could be a little harsh sometimes, but she had a great sense of humor if you called her bluff. But it was kind of a learning moment just because it's like, okay, I'm learning to get out of that thing and into a different thing that you're not used to. And then being able to incorporate all of it was really wonderful. And her games brought an element to the stuff I had learned that wasn't part of it. And then learning how to join it all, because eventually everything we do in life is we pick up pieces from everywhere and learn and grow. So she was definitely a valuable link in that chain.
I don't really see any other questions, but unless maybe,
Oh, Emily Harris says.
Here we go. She's teaching improv on Zoom to, can anybody else get the rest of
to curious and playful seniors. I love your work with space and objects. What are a few good starter games to introduce to them that will work online to play with my improvisers? Is the question.
I think mirror could work really well. You have two people, because you know it's a real trick to look. You're tempted to look at yourself, so you stay in the frame. But if two people are doing mirror,
here, Gail.
Yeah.
We could do group mirror.
Leading, we're all following the follower.
You could conceivably send somebody out and have them come back in and figure out who is leading, who isn't following. I mean, just as part of a game. You know, who is the leader.
That's an actual game. Yeah.
You know, so that's a possibility. Actually, the opening bit, the opening piece that we did where object transformation, for sure, because you're passing the object, you're having to pay attention to the object.
And there's a great one called Building Aware, where one person goes on and establishes where you are by using an object. Then they leave. The next person comes on, uses that object, adds another object to that specific where, and so on until you have a very rich where full of stuff. The last person has to use a lot of objects.
You know, how did transformation work for us?
On this?
Yeah.
It worked pretty well.
Because that'd be another one, you know, transformation.
We have
Sorry, Johnny, you were saying something.
We have some questions here.
Yeah, a couple of questions, sir. Do you have?
From Maureen Bollag writes, do you combine other techniques with Viola Spolin? Anyone?
Other techniques, meaning? Well, there's, you know, like you think about Donna was in, and Donna and Danny were in that other class, and Anna has brought in some other kind of wrinkles in the games. I think that we have experimented over time and in workshop with expanding, adding, trying. Some of those other games we struggled with that were outside of Spolin because they were more like writing on your feet rather than listening and following the follower.
Gail, while we have you on the mic, Donna D. Houter questions, when did Gail start with the Spolin Players? Gail?
Well, thanks for that question, Donna. I started, what, 86, 87, maybe? 1986.
Yep.
Somewhere about there, but that's, yeah, I think it was about then.
Just to revisit what Pat was saying and the question about other elements to it, just as human beings are a combination of kind of everything you've lived in life, and you've picked up things from different people, and you become this, this combination of yourself and other elements. For me, I find that other stuff I've done seeps into the Spolin stuff. And also when I've tried other stuff, bringing the Spolin things with me to that, and these interesting hybrids result, because a lot of improvisation as practice out in the world right now is a hybrid of many different disciplines that someone else went, I'm going to do this, take those things, and it's like cooking. Well, let's see if some oregano helps and put some chicken in it. It's kind of
I'm
like...
sorry, Danny, that's all the time we have for you. Would anyone else like to
It's all
comment?
in my book, which is available in the lobby.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
We did add a game that was really fun called Mini Logs, where we had the audience come in and we had a bunch of pieces of paper, and all they did was write down one word. And that was put in a big bowl, and they gave it to us on stage, and they drew out one word and looked at it and did a small mini log based on that one word, which was really fun.
Thank you. We welcome David McCharen. David, the group has been discussing a question from one of our attendees, and the question is thus: do you combine other techniques with Viola Spolin? David, do you care to comment?
Do I personally do that?
Yes, David, this is a question directed to you at the moment, or most of the other panelists have responded. So if you can give us your intimate thoughts, but not too
What do you mean by combine?
Combine as in to include, as in to put a part of into.
What do you mean by as in two?
Two as in not four or three or one.
Gail, what are you drinking?
What are you drinking, Gail? Liz wants to know what you're drinking.
Yes.
And by the way, Emily, thanks everybody. These are terrific. I didn't think Mirror would work online, but seeing all of you demonstrate, we're going to dive in.
Excellent.
So
yes.
I thought we were supposed to be able to see the audience, who all was there. Now,
there was a game we played that I just thought was kind of fun, was where you mute the audience. The audience mutes themselves and two players do a scene, and part of the scene they have to try to physicalize enough so that the audience can kind of figure out what's going on. They still do their dialogue, they still do everything, but that was
the audience has to figure out where they are and what the environment
where they are. So it's a challenge for the performers, but it's also a challenge for the audience too.
Well, now it's not in that specific thing, but it's a Spolin game that you have a conversation while you're in a certain activity or in an environment where there is an activity, and you don't relate to verbally don't relate to the activity at all. You carry on a discussion entirely separate from the activity. The guessing part for the audience is an interesting little.
Yeah, what the active, right?
Yes, Liz Olson wants to know what we're all drinking. Liz, I'm drinking bat piss. It's the closest I can get to combating the COVID virus.
Water.
I made some of my own whiskey.
Whiskey.
Eddie, you're in another group on the East Coast, so tell us about how your what kind of games your group plays.
Actually, I've been trying to take a lot of the game, basically the Viola Spolin games, most of the games that we've really been doing on Wednesday, I kept compiling a list and doing the same games, which is great because it gives a chance to have another group kind of experiment with the games, and in a way it kind of solidifies it for me as well. It kind of so yeah, we've been playing a lot of Spolin games.
This just in from Maureen Bolag once again. Do you live in different states, and do any of you live near each other? Comment.
Eddie lives in the East Coast, and the rest of us live in the West Coast, and we're all live in different cities around Los Angeles.
David and I live pretty close together.
Right. She's in the front room. I'm in the back house.
Yes, I'm in upstate New York. I used to live in Los Angeles. So.
And Pat and I live in a beaten up old trailer.
But they hardly ever see each other. That's the.
I'm living in Misery.
Missouri?
No, Misery.
I'm living in the state of decline. Which,
We're a little bit the orange state right now.
Yes, the hazy orange state. We have the air quality here in Los Angeles is very bad, and all of California.
How often do we get a week together? Once a week? Every
week.
Wednesday since since COVID, really.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
And it's all over Zoom, yes.
There's
all over.
Comment here. It's not a question.
Wait.
There's a comment here that's not a question, but I thought maybe you might want
Nice
to.
job. You were all great. Really appreciate
Renee-
your efforts in the new abnormal.
Renee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's from Liz Olson.
Thank you.
Renee Schuchter says, "Hi, all. Not a question. Just want to express my appreciation for all of your continued work together. I've studied and worked on stage with Gary during the past 10 years in improv and theater, and I feel so deeply grateful for the life-changing experience. I and others in his workshop still remember in detail the wares Gary has always spoken with such heartwarming glow about how deeply he cherishes all of you. Thank you for continuing to giving life to such soul-nourishing joy."
Wow.
Wow, very nice.
Very, very
Thank
lovely
you so
comment,
much.
Renee.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wrote that when I was thinking last night.
Very.
That's
No,
very
really,
nice.
we've
Very
been
nice.
together, the majority of us have been together now for 30 years, over 30 years. So it's been quite some time.
Jeff
But-
Whitman sent us a question.
Did he?
Will there be a recording of this available?
In the lobby.
Donna D.
On your
Howard
way
says,
out.
Thanks for making us laugh today. Ingrid Dormian says, "Very nice, thank you." And Maureen said, "This is awesome. You've been together so long." Now, she didn't put the emphasis there. You've been together so long.
And a donation of $10 from Mrs. Chuck Wepner from Piscataway, New Jersey. $5 from Mr. Lillian Gish of Brentwood, California. And the totes keep coming in. Keep those cards and letters and donations coming in, folks. We only got 23 hours left in this telethon.
Thank you so much for those donations, but we do need to see the cash. Okay?
Remember, without your donations, millions of children will go to bed tonight without improv.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
You know what? Just to answer your question from earlier, Johnny, I think we all use and incorporate different parts of what we've learned from improv and from theater in general. Improv to me is the essence of theater. You're the actor, the writer, the director on stage with the audience's suggestion. And if you have all those skills in place, then it makes it a lot easier to, theatrical skills,
And the last thing I'd say is, don't be afraid to play.
Yeah.
Play games. Playing is really key, especially when you get a little older in life to be able to play and just let go. I mean, when we first started, we were like, oh, is someone coming to see us? Could this mean work? Now we just don't.
Yeah, no. One of my favorite books from college was The Empty Space by Peter Brook.
Yeah.
And the last line of the book, he says, a play is play. And I always kind of hold that in here, you know, because, yeah.
And Viola called it the games for that specific reason. I mean, her observation of kids playing in the playground was what inspired some of these, the idea of being more present when you're just playing, when you don't have a lot of, you know, mechanisms in your head. You're just, you know, oh, you do this, let's get on our horses, and you just go and you just play and you have a good time.
Philip Spolin says, thanks, everyone.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Oh, hi, Phil. He's great.
We love Phil.
Yes.
So there you have it, folks. I guess the word of the day is play. On this very solemn 9/11, we managed to bring a little laughter and joy into your lives. So why don't you take out the rest of the day and follow that little notation to play.
Take just a second to acknowledge our lost brothers and sisters in 9/11, and we will play for you.
Yeah.
Play on, McDuff. Play on.
All peace.
And thank you, Gary Schwartz, for keeping
Yes,
us all
Gary.
together.
And thanks Scott Boggle and Miki for their input
Yes,
and all their
thank you.
stuff. Miki Manting.
Thank you guys so much. That was fantastic.
Thanks, Scott.
Namaste.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Fun
And may
stormy
God
catastrophe.
You think it'll work?